how's your golf going? I'm sure they're not going to be angry. They'll be interested that somebody's interested in them. So make your customers, don't just sit there like, never have a relationship with your customers. Get to know people. And I know it's hard for companies like Facebook, for example, but they need to understand what their customers are, and they need to get to know their people. So there's a lot more to customer relationships than just building up databases. Yeah, people are people, they're not just names and addresses. You understand? And that's a really important thing in life. And it's the same, like tutors. I mean, there you are, tutors. You've got a class of 40, which is not unusual, but they know by the end, by maybe 3 or 4 weeks, they kind of know you individually, because they start to understand, and it's their benefit, and it's your benefit as well, because what they're doing is they're working out the style of teaching you need. You can't say the same thing to everyone and everyone understands. You need to work on individual people as well, and that's the same with customers. All right? Good. Any questions about anything so far? You're not asking a lot. Okay. So we've got this thing called data mining. Now, what happens is every so often these new words come up, and they go, oh, this is the latest cool thing, but really, it's just an extension. Nothing's new in the world. It's just an extension on what's already happened. So I was looking around, and now it's called data mining. And data mining is, it builds models of customers' behaviours. So what does that mean? What do you think that means? Builds models of customers' behaviour.
The way customers think of.
There's a pattern. Customers
pattern, yeah.
Style.
Yeah.
Taste and preference.
Yeah, so it's not just what you buy. It's not just, you go to the shops and you buy shoes. I could guess that, I've guessed it, have I? Do you buy shoes?
Yeah.
There you go, I don't need a database, don't laugh at her. So I don't need a database to tell me you buy shoes, But what I can do is put people into certain categories, and I know where to aim. So if I was marketing to you, I'm not going to market the same way to you. I'm individually working out what you do. Now we got this new, where I work, now I hope this works, we got what's called a mobile CRM. And basically, you won't all be able to see this, but basically this helps us as salespeople. So part of my job is selling qualifications. Okay, so it's mobile. I can do it on my phone. I can do it on this thing. I can do it in someone's computer in their office. So if I'm going to a certain company, and I'll just write the name Accor. You know Accor Hotels? Yeah. Right, I deal with Accor Hotels. So I put the word Accor in, and suddenly I've got all these, I know you can't see it, but I've got all these addresses of Accor. And in there is every Accor hotel in the country, in New Zealand. Okay, there's also some in Fiji, but I don't get free holidays. So I'm looking for where I'm going. I'm going into this hotel. Now, I'm not exactly cold calling, because I've got a lot of information here. Yeah? Suddenly, and then I press on the hotel. So I've got Novotel, which is part of a core group, Queenstown, Lakeside. So I press on there, and then it comes up with information. Now basically this is just a database, it's just like a pen and paper, but it's brilliant because it tells me we have a program called Modern Apprentices. You know what apprentices are?
Yeah.
So people learning their trade. So these are chefs basically learning their trade. They're young people. Well, actually you don't have to be young now to do an apprenticeship, you can do it at any age. So they're people that are learning catering, cooking. Okay, and I can press on there and get reports on how individual trainees are doing. So I can find out what their problems are, because we go in 4 times a year, quarterly. We go in and do reports on trainees. It's part of our commitment, if you like, to Nzse and TEC, which is part of Nzse really. Okay. So we go in and we write a report on them. Now it's not a negative report. It's just saying they need more work on their timing or their hygiene is rubbish. So we can work on that with them. We're getting down to an individual level. So then we've got, so that's a modern, and then we've got industry training reports. Now industry training are non-apprentices. So it's people like the housekeepers that are doing qualification, porters, front office, reception, waiters, function people. So it's everyone in a group. Now it doesn't only work for hotels, it's because I press the call, but I could have the same if I press McDonald's. I get individual stores and then I get where people are at, you see? I've got the contact details of everyone in the hotel that we deal with. I've got their email addresses. I've got a map of Queenstown, if I press that one. I've got, you know, where the hotel is. Got the primary contact, that means the person who makes the decisions really. So that's the one I'm aiming for. I've got how many assessors are actually attached to that hotel. Now we need assessors because we don't do, you know, there's thousands and thousands of people working catering. We don't do the assessment, they do it in-house. So for example, if you've been a chef for 12 years and you were a newbie, you'd be teaching him how to do stuff. So we'd make you an assessor. We'd go through a program where you do, and you become an assessor. So it's in-house. So we are actually having minimal contact with the hotel. Now we found this, Service IQ, where I work for, came out of a company, one of those companies was Hotel Standards Institute, HSI. Now HSI used to have this where they went in and told people like you what you should be doing. And this was making people like your head chef, it was winding him up because really he knows what he's doing. No, we don't know, so now New Zealand qualifications is worked on the job. So it's done on the job. Our job is to say, look, here's a qualification for training, but this is what you need to do. You're the expert, and you do it the Accor way, and you show him the Accor one, and then we'll give you a qualification, national qualification. Okay, see, so that's the way New Zealand qualifications has kind of made itself customer friendly now, yeah? So schools is a bit different because, well, not a school like this, but a school that's practical chefs. You've got one chef who's experienced teaching maybe 20 people, how to cook. So it's a slightly different way, and it's just as acceptable, but the advantage is, I think personally, is you're learning in the industry, you're learning on the job, which in a lot of ways is, better for a practical situation. Okay? Once you're getting up to your level 5, 6, 7, you're talking more about supervisory and management, so it's a bit different, okay? So getting back to this, we've also got how many trainees we've got signed up at the moment, and then when I press that, I get, it's not gonna work, sorry, and there's another section where there's notes. So there's notes about last meeting I had, problems we had and all that. So this is a really handy tool. Because before we just used to have to take out loads of paperwork like this, yeah? But in here, if I need to contact a trainee, straight away I say, look, here's your email address. I'm coming down on Tuesday. Please bring in your latest work and all things like that. It also tells me about what that trainee is about, what they like, what they don't like, what they want to be in the future. So if they want to just be a pastry chef, make pastry, and not be a chef, that does general things, which is great, then we know that we're concentrating on his training more on the pastry things. So to have a system like this with a database, and we got several other things that kind of back this up, so to have a system like this has kind of given us a big advantage because we can walk in anywhere. And within minutes, really, providing the internet's working, I can know everything about everyone in the room, really. Okay? Good. So consider, you're all computer savvy.